With the breath of the Prime Creator, we are given this opportunity as end-of-the-year witness to the significance and influence by the actions we take. For the fortitude and persistence, we give thanks. For the presence of mind, we give thanks. For the reason and restraint when needed, we are thankful. For the guidance of your heartful and powerful presence, we continue with humility of intent and by measured action. We humbly ask that we continue to be protected as we press forward in our determination to free ourselves from the godless constraints put upon us. For the gift of another year from the safety and comfort of where we sit, stand, or lay, we express great gratitude. And so it is.
Thank you, Charlie.
My pleasure.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. This is a catch-up for the assembly. We've been moving right along and haven't made one of these in a while. Where it stands right now on the group of 10 true bills that the grand jury gave us. The first one is the direct challenge by the Oregon Department of Corrections to our court that their top 3 executives involved would not obey a writ of habeas corpus ad subjiciendum, and then they would not obey a writ of mandamus. So those 3 men are going to be tried soon. I think we decided the date was the 23rd in Salem. Yeah, the 23rd of September in Salem. So that's one thing. The other thing is we have found due process violations everywhere. They wantonly disguise, they don't even disguise, they just break the Constitution and their oath whenever they wish. So we have 89 legislators, and Kate Brown, Ron Wyden, Jeff Merkley, and Suzanne Bonamici to make that, is it 93? We have 93 violations of just once of all of those people. And the violation was against Oregonian men and women in the de jure jurisdiction of men and women, and that was the verdict of our Article 3, Amendment 7 court. So logically and legally and lawfully speaking, let's just make an assumption that there are 1 million. No, there are 100,000 Oregonian men and women that whose rights and due process was affected by what those 93 individuals did. And if their due process was violated and a court hears it and makes a decision, well, then the penalty is written out in 18 U.S.C. 3571. It says $250,000 for each violation. Well, 100,000 members, all with just one violation. But now remember, they got 93 violations. So then 100,000 times 93 times. Oh my God. $930,000 times $250,000 per penalty. And all of that we have to present to Oregon Risk Management, which I did. Her name is Shelley Hoffman. And nice lady. I've spoken to her before. But Shelley says, Ron, I don't recognize your court. Well, that's a problem. How do you resolve your legal problems? And she says, oh, we have an attorney, and that's at the Oregon Department of Justice. So they have one. Okay, who's your counsel? And she says, Steve Leipold or Lippold, the number 2 guy there. He was recently chastised. Charlie found that. Good job, Charlie. So anyhow, Steve is the legal representative for the Office of Director of Risk Management, which is a subdivision of DAS, Division of Administrative Services, I believe. So all of that comes down to the state of Oregon, the incompetent, de facto, illegal corporate entity that's running the Salem oligarchy, that bunch, is going to be represented by Steve Leipold. This is going to be really interesting. We might need to show up with maybe 150 people and talk to them about things. So I brought this to Shelley's attention, Hoffman, because I told her we're going to have upcoming 3 new ones in addition to all those we already have found guilty and haven't started pressing a claim yet. But we have 3 brand new ones that are coming at you, and we're going to start claims on all 3. And she says, no, you're not until you can run this past Steve Leipold. So here we go. That's one. So that's going on with the Oregon Department of Justice. At the same time, we're going to be trying these 3 guys on the 23rd of this month, I believe. And I think we've already established a date in October when we're going to try the sheriffs. Now, every single sheriff on Oregon, and many of those that have left, and not one of the current crop has a proper oath to the proper constitutions with the laws of nature and nature's God included. None of them, 0. So we have no sheriff on Oregon, not one. And the ones that like to say they're constitutional sheriffs, they're not. They're liars. So we do not have a lawful entity with a proper oath on Oregon. We just don't. There's not one single lawful, constitutional, de jure representative in our representative form of government on Oregon. Not one. That's 100% efficient. There's almost nothing that's that good. The district attorneys, who are the most crooked, fixed anyhow, they're only running in the high 90s, but they got this one to 100%. You want to know what else is 100%? We've had 9 grand juries, and 100% of the time, they have found true bills. That's a pretty good average. Real stuff. So, this that's what a copy of what has been served to the Oregon Department of Corrections. This is coming from the grand jury to the court and for the court to resolve. And the court is in the process of resolving. It takes one of our clerks, and we have 12, and any 3 members of our Jural Assembly to have a court. We have 36 sheriffs without one single oath. So we're going to need one court 36 times, or we're going to need 36 courts or some form in between, so that we have a proper court with a clerk to receive the word and the written oath, signed, sealed, stamped, witnessed, proof of service, and published. Proper from each one of the sheriffs. So this is a recruitment effort. We need a whole bunch more people that are ready to go down and confront the sheriff's office, probably multiple times, look them in the eye and demand they do their job. They will fold. They may not fold the first time, but they will fold. They can't support it. Evil always falls when confronted by good, every time. So those sheriffs that don't think they're supporting evil when they support the Salem oligarchy, when they rethink it and take a proper oath, then we have a proper sheriff to do the jobs. Now, there's 10 other items besides sheriff, 8 other items besides sheriff and the Department of Corrections. 5 of those 8 involve the sheriff. 5G. That's controversial as hell. And there is no evidence to support that it's not injurious to humans. You see what Robert Kennedy came up with just the other day? He won his suit about cell phones too close to the head. Yeah. So if cell phones are not that good for you close to your head, wonder how good they are for kids that get one in preschool and lug it around for the rest of their life, which will probably be much shorter as they are trying to vaccinate all of them. And sheriffs come in again and again and again to enforce. They sell somebody's home or farm for non-payment of taxes. Now, how in the hell do they find that they have the authority to do something like that? Turn somebody out because they can't pay their taxes? No. If there's a lawful suit, you can settle it at probate. You don't turn somebody out. That's just not the way. But that's the way they want to do it. They want to evict people and put them homeless on the street. For mortgage companies that do not have due process in hand and cannot support their loan agreements. So there's a lot of problems with sheriffs, and sheriffs is going to be coming up in October. We're going to have to stir the pot heartily between now and then in all the counties, because each county has a sheriff, some more so than others. All of this is published at www.orsja.org. And I think I've about covered it for sheriffs. I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, "Just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me." And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.